So this is a theory. Okay. This is
Adam's theory.
So my theory is, Darwin said, with evolution brought evolution. But what Darwin didn't understand, he was just looking at the physical evolution. The evolution happens in the mind and consciousness, and then the physical body changes based on that consciousness, internal consciousness evolution. So when you see something external, that's just the physical effect from the internal change internally. Okay. So think about that, right? Starts with the mind and then consciousness. So when a species evolves, it's evolving from the consciousness level first, and then the physical form is being created. All right. So when we think about that, then think about populations. It makes sense that the United States being the highest level of frequency, and we've got our issues. Okay. We're still not in fourth density. We're still in the end of third density. And you can see the politics, and a lot of people are totally unaware of this. Okay. But those who are listening right now, you are aware of this, and you are some of the early adopters, innovators in this space. And many of you are probably starseeds. Okay. I'll just say it. So when you think about this, doesn't it make sense that Russia and China, who are still grasping on the fear and want to start wars over trying to control people and their sense of their history and clinging onto the past, and the fact that Taiwan needs to be part of one China and Ukraine needs to be, and the reason why Russia is doing this, or Putin's doing this, because he's afraid people will invade him, and NATO and all of this false beliefs based on fear and his beliefs dying, and they don't expect our culture and everything else. Well, if your culture is based on fear and scarcity, you're not going to exist in this fourth density. Okay. Your culture will die because that social construct, that social belief system is dying, and we can see it in the numbers. So we see these huge drops in Russia. Russia is literally, population is going to drop in half in the next 10 years. Yeah, and China is collapsing. Both Russia and China are countries that are dead. They are dying, and they are already dead. And so that's what makes them scary, because this is and they're being controlled by people who are service to self. So these are service to self souls that want to keep the planet at a service to self level, and they've lost. They've already lost. Service to self is lost on this planet because service to others with light workers like us and everything has come down here now. But NATO is wrong also, because NATO, if we force people to do things, that is based on fear. And anytime the US government or any of our allies try to force another country to ascend in their own consciousness or change their culture based on our viewpoints, that is much of a fear-based approach as what the Russians and the Chinese are doing. So we're wrong too in this process.
Right. But if you are listening and on audio, what these charts mean on the bottom, there are more people coming up in the United States than there are in Russia and China. And because there are more people, and because people die, that's what Adam means by they're out of business. And out of business means they don't have people to fight a war.
Right.
Like, they are not fast forward 10 years, they're not going to have enough soldiers to put on the ground to fight any war.
So this is their last. This is their last chance and their last push for service to self and fear-based consciousness, because they've already lost, and they will. But it might be ugly. God forbid that we have something at a global nuclear level, but regardless, it doesn't matter. They're done. They're done. In fact, we don't really, and Iran's in the same boat. We don't need to do anything but let them just finish themselves, because they've already lost.